Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Connie Douglas from Great Stamping with Connie. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Canada, and I would like to welcome you to the Crafting Chronicles. This is the week where I am wandering through the new annual catalog, and I love that you're coming along on this adventure with me. So if you are here today, do say hello. I forgot to get this going on my tablet, so I'm just going to take a moment and call it all up and see if I can get it going. In the meantime, say hello. Let me know that you are here, that you are joining me. Hopefully you got a little message that I've gone live and you're able to follow along with me. So I have been here Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday so far. Today is Friday, so this is the last day that I will be doing this particular thing at this particular time. But it's certainly not the last day that I will be sharing wonderful new things from the catalog. There's so many, and we have only, just skimmed the surface with some of them. So lots more wonderful crafting to come. Hello, Lorna. Hi, Donna. Welcome, ladies. Thank you so much for stopping by today and seeing what there is to see. So why don't we get started with that? I will just put this down. There we go. The glare, as usual, in the annual catalog. Here we go. So I still have lots of tabs in here and lots of things that we haven't talked about. As I said, we won't get through them all, but we will get through some more of them today. So yesterday's question was, what is your favorite gem or ribbon embellishment, your favorite embellishment in the new catalog? And as I mentioned, I had a Stampin' Up! Order that was delivered while we were live yesterday. And so I have some of those new gems to share with you today. We'll get to that in just a moment. Today's question, I will mention this again, but today's question is, what is your favorite stamp set? So in the new catalog here, what is your favorite? And it doesn't have to be a new one. If there's one that was in a previous catalog and has carried over in this catalog and you're still loving it, let me know. Do leave answers to all of this week's questions in the comments because I will be holding a draw, so you'll have a chance to win a prize. So let me know. I mentioned yesterday, we love prizes. Yes, we do love prizes, don't we? I mentioned yesterday that we were, sorry, I didn't mention yesterday, but we were looking at the Countryside Inn Designer Series paper. And in fact, Donna said that it was her fave. And I think it's probably my favorite. I love the colors because I love blue. But I wanted to make sure you were aware that the June paper pumpkin is called Welcome In. And it's going to coordinate with the Countryside Inn suite that is in the catalog. So that's very cool. I don't know exactly how. They didn't give us a really big hint this month. This is what we got. This was in the May paper pumpkin kit. So I don't really know what to expect. There are some dies, some add-on dies. So there's, looks like a flower vase and a little leaf sprig and a flower. But that's all I really know. So it will be a surprise come June. But it's going to be awesome because it's going to coordinate with the Countryside Inn. And we decided yesterday that the paper was beautiful. So something to look forward to. If you are not a subscriber to Paper Pumpkin, you may subscribe anytime between now and June the 10th, and you will get this kit. And you can do just the 1 month if you don't want to do it on an ongoing basis, or you could buy a prepaid code for 3 months or 6 months or even 12 months, or you could just go month to month and it will just charge on your credit card each month. So entirely up to you whether you commit to a longer period of time or not. I always suggest to people, if they are doing Paper Pumpkin every month or, pretty much all the time, that they buy a prepaid subscription during Celebration, because then you get extra free goodies. So that's not until next January. So you may or may not want to wait for that, but you can certainly do month to month between now and then if you choose. So, and either with the prepaid or the month to month, you can suspend it for a month if you don't, you're going to be away or busy or something, or you've seen the little sneak peeks of the kit and it's not something that you think will appeal to you. You can skip a month anytime you wish. So just something to keep in mind. All right, let's dive into what should we look at first? Shall we look at some of the gems? I will open up this page. Gems start on page 139, and they go through 40, 41, and then we're over into the ribbon here on 42, 43, and 44. So lots of embellishments in here, things to decorate your cards with. And here are, now, I did not get all of these, but I did get a few. Some of them are not new, some of them I already have, but, I did get some new ones. So 2022 to 2024 in color pearls. Can you see those? Let me put them up here. Okay. Parakeet Party, Tahitian Tide, Sweet Sorbet, Starry Sky, and Orchid Oasis. And these are, they're shiny. They're almost translucent, but not quite. They're sort of solid color, but they are shiny. All 5 of last year's new in colors. So these are awesome. They are all one size. So you get 2 rows of each color, all the same size. Okay. Well, I'll never get these back in here very quickly. I'm just going to set them to the side. Okay, and then we have, there's 2 tinsel gem packs. There's a 3-pack and a 4-pack. So this is the 3-pack, and it has Misty Moonlight, Fresh Freesia, and Lost Lagoon on this one. So hopefully you can see those colors. Okay. And then there is also a 4-pack. So same sort of thing. Oh, I didn't mention, these are, there's 2 sizes in these. Okay. Same thing with the 4-pack, 2 sizes. And here we have Lemon Lime Twist, Berry Burst, Blueberry Bushel, and Pretty Peacock. Okay, so lots of pretty colors. So between these 2 packages, you have 7 different colors of gems in 2 different sizes. Like, talk about being well gemmed. That would deck you out quite nicely. And then if you just want to round things out, you may want to throw in some neutrals. So there's some wonderful neutral gems in the new catalog. This is the Neutrals Adhesive Backed Sequins. So these are sequins, but they're already sticky. Love it. We don't have to put glue dots on them. 2 sizes in these as well. And we have gold, brown, silver, and copper. So the silver, they're not a shiny silver. They're like matte silver. Does that make sense? To me, they almost look white, and the brown look very metallic brown. So sort of a contradiction in the names there to what you would think. But gold and copper, obviously, you would expect to be shiny, and they are. They all shimmer, but these are sequins. Okay. And then there are some adhesive back sparkle gems in the neutrals again. And here we have 2 sizes. So there's small, 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 large, large, large. And we have champagne, black, and they call these white. They look silver-ish, but they call them white. Okay. Oops. Hard to see. There we go. So there's a good look. And these have little sparkly bits within them. So these are very, very sparkly. I guess that's why they're called sparkle gems, you think? So there's what I got for now. Okay, well, yes, actually, looking at this, I have most of these now. Most of these gems, yes. Well, you know, I use a lot of gems. It's important to have good selection, don't you think? Okay, moving on. We are going to head to almost the beginning here, page 12. Yes, page 12. Just wanted to show you the kit information in the catalog. Most of the kit information is online. So just showing you that we have kits. These are all-inclusive kits. You can see the cards or the projects. You see what you get in the kit, and you get everything that you need to complete the project as they show it. If you want to add other products or modify it in any way, then you could go into your stash and do so. But they will give you everything to complete the kit as they display it. Paper Pumpkin, here's your pricing for your month to month and your prepaid and all the different options, 1, 3, 6, and 12 months on the prepaids, as well as a little bit of a description of what it's all about. So just wanted to point that out to you. And somewhere I was going to mention, we've talked about the online exclusive products. So they show a little bit of them here. And let's grab my other book. Did I make a note of the page? Yes, page 23. So here, there we go. If you, let me hold this up for you so you can see it a little bit better. Oops, there we go. It says web, and then it says radiating stitch dies, and it does give you a product number here. So if you are at all familiar with the online product and you just want to get the number, you could see it there if you knew that it was on this page. But really the easiest way is to go online. But if you see web here and you're wondering where that die is in the back under the dies, it's not there because it is a web only product. So these are the online exclusive products. And you can see them all online at my store, but that will be indicated in the catalog if you ever see that and just want to find out where that's from. The other thing that I was going to point out, and many of you may know this if you've been following along with me over the last number of years, this is the Petal Park stamp set, and it has a coordinating punch, and you can tell what the punch will punch by looking at these images. These have white highlighting on them. So this is what the punch will punch, okay? These pieces do not punch out. So if you want those, you'd have to fussy cut them. Or you just stamp them. But these are it shows you what the punch will punch. And you'll see that throughout the catalog as well. Okay. Same thing for the dies. Over here, you can see that there's dies that coordinate with those white highlighted items. Okay, where are we headed? We are headed to page 20. So we're going to go back a little bit. Oh, that's not what we want. Page 20. Oh, I messed that up, didn't I? Check this other book again. Oh, yeah, no, that was the date. Page 91. I was making notes on the 20th in my calendar. Look, here we are, page 91. Crafting with You. This is, I want to say it's a must-have set. It's not a must-have like the go-to greetings. The go-to greetings is standard, useful, awesome, standard sentiments in various sizes and various fonts, just very practical. This one is perhaps a little less practical, but so much fun. Oh my goodness, what a fun set, especially for all of us because we are crafters. Um, so the stamp set uh, has 13 images and it covers off things like sewing and knitting and painting and of course die cutting, the paint easel, the basket for the yarn, and then some great sentiments. Life is better when you're crafting. Sending you a handmade hug out, like those are just beautiful sentiments. Uh, but then the dies. Oh my goodness. So the dies cut out the sewing machine and they cut out cut and emboss machine and they cut out the paint easel. But then there's another basket, there's spools of thread. This is for the paintbrushes. They cut out paintbrushes. This is the flowers. This is the other basket. But look, then there's an embroidery hoop. There is thread. Can you see the detail on that die? It's a little tricky to see online, but there's the thread that is wrapped on the spools or on there to go on the spools. There's a ruler. Look, there's a paper trimmer and paper snips, buttons, just like so much fun. Now I can't remember how I had this on here. Yeah, okay, look at that. Oh, like this, maybe. There we go. And this was somewhere, and this was somewhere else. Maybe not quite like that, maybe like that. I don't know. Good enough. Okay, so these dies are awesome and fun. So much fun to play with. I have shared a few cards that I did during Craft Spot, just quick and easy. So this was just, there's your easel that I stamped and die cut, and I just stamped the one. This is an image from the stamp set, the flowers. And you, of course, could color that with your Stampin' Right markers and step it up and make it just more detailed. Same with the paintbrushes. I just stamped them all one color. I stamped these in gray. I stamped these in Lost Lagoon, the basket die cut, and then I just fussy cut that. Super quick, super easy. Here's a little bit more detail. Okay, see. Get right up close to the camera and then it won't focus, but come on, can you focus? Not too much. A little bit you can see on this one. It's tricky, but I've got the thread. I've cut the thread in Lemon Lolly and Berry Burst here. So I've made 4 spools of thread, and then I've got Berry Burst wool in my basket. And here's my sewing machine. Embroidery hoop. Look at that embroidery hoop. And this cuts right from the inside of the embroidery hoop. And you could put something on there that you are embroidering. I put my sentiment on there. Not that that couldn't be embroidered, but there you go. So a little more detail on that one. Then, of course, we get over to the paper crafting because we are paper crafters. Primarily, I'll say, maybe not. Maybe that's not your number one craft, but if you're on here, I'm going to assume it is one of your crafts. And here I've just quick and easy stamped and die cut the cut and emboss machine. So that was a quick one. This one, a little bit more detail. I've done the same thing with the cut and emboss machine. Here is the trimmer. Look at the trimmer. It's got the little blade, and I've put a little piece of paper in that we're cutting. Paper snips. Look at them. I love paper snips. So I did this. This one I did by cutting the paper snips in basic black and in basic white, and then I snipped them off and put the white over top. But there's different ways of doing that as well. And one day I'll make it in silver. And then we step it up even a little bit further. So now, rather than the trimmer, all one color, I've got 2 layers on the trimmer. So I've just cut two trimmers and cut some pieces out and then layered one on top of the other. And here's our paper that we're cutting that I've fed through there. This actually glued some of this down, but this cuts loose when you cut it out with the die. So it's all, you can put your paper right in. And then I cut the cut and emboss machine where the paper would come through. And I put a little piece of designer series paper in there as well. I fed it right through. You could just lay it at that point, I suspect, and it would also look like you had on there, but I did actually cut this and put it through to the back a little bit. These scissors, I just die cut them out of white, and I've colored this, the black handles, with my black Stampin' Red marker. So just one set of scissors there. So it's not quite as thick, but lots of detail on these pieces. So you can spend as much or as little time creating these items as you wish. Look, I carried over the heart theme side. So hearts on our designer series paper, and then we cut them out and they ended up in there. That's my story. So this set is, I want to say it's a must-have. And as I say, I don't say it's a must-have because it is truly the most practical set, but it's got to be one of the most fun sets we've had in a long, long time. And I have just had so much fun playing with it already. And I'm not done yet. This is the set that we will be using for our June card club. So there'll be lots more die cuts and fun crafting things that we will be doing in the June card club with that set. Okay. And then one more suite that I thought I would share with you. And that is on page 78. And it is called Let's Go Fishing Suite. So if there's anyone in your family that enjoys fishing, this is the place to be. And I was quite excited to see this because my daughter loves to fish. And so I had to get this set. And this one, if you are coming to our global retreat in July that we haven't talked about yet today, so I'll just pop this guy right in here. The online global retreat, if you're looking for some crafting and inspiration and get together online with other people in the crafting community, this is where you want to be, July 21st to 22nd. We will have a Zoom kickoff party, we will have a Zoom after party, and in between we will have a private Facebook group that you will have access to share your crafting with others in the group and to see theirs and be inspired and to chit chat and talk all things crafting. And we will share 8 tutorials with you, 8 make and takes, as well as different techniques and lots of projects to inspire you and inspire your crafting. So that's coming up July 21st and 22nd. It is $85 in Canada, and that will get you the retreat in a box sent right to your door with all of your make and takes and your goodie bag and pillow gifts and door prizes and everything else that you will need for the weekend. Well, it's a Friday, Saturday, so it's not quite a weekend. But right now, up until June 5th, we have an early bird pricing special. So until June the 5th, you may register for just $80. So a little savings there for you. So you want to get onto that. And we will do it as we have at some of our previous ones, where we have one main suite that every demonstrator will share, the 4 demonstrators from around the globe. And that is the earth and textures that we looked at the other day. And then we have each selected one additional suite to share with you, just so you get lots and lots of diversity and different ideas. So you will see 4 additional stamp sets, sort of up close and personal, and there will be make and takes from them. So mine is the Let's Go Fishing Suite. So I will be doing something with some of these uh, fun bits and pieces. So watch for that. So in this suite, one of the things that is really easy to miss is right here in the catalog. You probably can't even see that on camera. See it if I can bit close, you can see that there's something there, right? And that is an embossing folder. It is called Twisted Rope, and it looks like this. So that is the rope going across. You could also use the rope going up and down. It's just kind of a subtle pattern. It doesn't have to be rope if you don't want it to be rope. It can just be, some patterning in your background. But it is called Twisted Rope, and it is therefore with the Let's Go Fishing Suite. So that's the embossing folder. And then we have the stamp set with mostly, sentiments for males. Happy Father's Day. So glad that you're my dad. Happy retirement could be for anyone. Good things come to those who wait. That's for anyone. And congrats can be for anyone. So, a couple of them are definitely for the men in your world, but not all of them. Hello, Mary. Welcome. And they don't, you don't even have to use these sentiments with it. If you want to make a card that has a fishing theme, you can always go into your stash and pull out some other sentiments, as you will see in some of my samples. Okay. And then the dies, lots of fun things. So there's two large pieces to cut out what would look like a tackle box. Okay. So this is the outside of your tackle box, and then this is the little dividers that are inside the tackle box, the tray where you can put all your little bits and pieces. And you can see a sample of that because I have not made one of these yet. I will. I will case the catalog or do something very similar to this, but I have not had a chance to do it yet. But there's the tackle box there. So that's what those two large dies are for. And then you have lots and lots of bobber pieces and hooks and fish. And I'll be honest, I haven't cut these out. I think these just cut little grooves and things to make to add texture. And then this makes water texture. So that is fun as well. And I'm not entirely certain what in particular this is for. It's for something. I will see how other people use it, and I will let you know because it's just a little thin piece, and I'm not honestly sure exactly what it's supposed to be for. So there you go. If anybody knows, let me know. These are your lead weights, and then all sorts of. There's some fishing lures as well. Some of the fish. One of the fish. There is only one fish here. Certainly coordinates with the fish in the stamp set, two-step stamping, but it also coordinates with one of the fish in the designer series paper. So let's take a quick peek at the designer series paper. Here is for all the people that love blue, we have blues in here again. So in here we have Misty Moonlight and Boho Blue. And this pack also includes Wild Wheat, Mossy Meadow, and Pebbled Path. And the background on this paper is very vanilla, which is a little different than many of them. So that's kind of neat. Gives us a good reason to pull out our very vanilla cardstock for a change. So these fly fishing rods. Lots of fun there. This is just some water texture sort of thing. Be good for cutting out some lead bits. And here we have fly fishing. I believe those are for fly fishing. Those little feathery things. Can you tell I'm not an experienced fisher person? I have done some fishing. I've never done fly fishing. I've seen, videos of it and things, but mossy meadow. So this is just a great sort of neutral if you're not, you want to dress something up, but you don't want a lot of color and busy pattern and stuff. There you go. And then this one. How fun is this? This is almost like the zoo crew that we looked at yesterday, in that you can cut out all these little fishies and have a bunch of fun with them. And as I mentioned, this die will perfectly cut out this fish. Whoops. There we go. So that's very, very handy to know. And then the back patterns are quite neutral. But look, ooh, gingham, checkers, whatever, call it what you want. I love it. Some gray stripes. That's actually pebble path, sort of a taupey gray. Some more checkers. I like that. That's that really looks like copper clay, but they don't list that as one of the colors. So, but it really looks like it. I don't think this is wild wheat. That looks like copper clay. Here is sort of map background. Okay. Some fish, some net. Would it go like that? I don't know. I don't know if it goes up or down. I don't know whether it matters. Which way do the nets go? They go in the water. And then this one, I love this. Look at this weathered, watery dock. Just a whole marina kind of look to it. So that is the designer series paper, and just a whole lot of fun. At least that's what I think. So, a few cards to show you that I have made with this set. This was one that we did, I think this was Connie's Craft Along the other week. So this is a fancy fold with a belly band, but there we have the circle punch, and here's one of the lures, two-step stamping there, and this is one of the fish that I cut from the designer series paper. This ribbon, I didn't grab the roll, but this is the pecan ribbon. So on my what's your favorite gem ribbon embellishment question, perhaps you would like to select this ribbon here. I fell in love with it when I saw it in the catalog, and it does not disappoint in real life. Look at that. It's just a natural color with pecan pie border, and I really like it. I'll be honest, I have not tried tying it in a bow yet, but it is very soft, but it's got a little bit of width to it, so I'm not positive how easy. It would make a bow, but it might be a fairly large bow. Here's some of the designer series paper, and then some more of the designer series paper inside. So that was part of Connie's Craft Along, I do believe. That we made that, and I shared a little bit of this suite at that time. And then this card. So this is the die that cuts the water, this long guy here. That's the texture into the water. And I have just layered Night of Navy, Misty Moonlight, and Azure Afternoon to just for fun. And then we have our bobber with our hook on the bottom. And look, oh, Mr. Fishy, don't bite, don't bite. There's not even a worm on there. Wait until they put a worm on so you can at least have a little tasty nibble. And as I mentioned, this is from Go To Greetings. So I've pulled out a happy birthday sentiment for this one because I want a birthday card. This is just black baker's twine, and this is one of the die cuts. Just the die that will cut 2 double hooks, 1 fell swoop. And then I made this card. So this is the embossing folder again, the twisted rope, and this is Moody Mauve. And these fish are fish that I have cut from the designer series paper. And I made this one a retirement card. So that one, and this, a version of this is today's make and take. So we have a basic white card base, and you're asking about the make and takes and how you get that. Well, super easy. Let me tell you. This week I have shared, up until today, I've shared 3 make and takes. Today is the 4th, and those 4 make and takes are my May card class. So I will send you a kit to make all 4 cards with a minimum $35 purchase from my store using my current host code. So you just go online, you place your order using my current host code, and I will send you a kit to make all 4 of these cards. This was from day 1. This was from day 2. This was from day 3. And then there will be one from today for day 4. So you can have the kit to make all 4 of those cards sent directly to you for free with a minimum $35 order using the current host code. Okay, so for this one, I have cut out some fish, and I've used Misty Moonlight this time for the background. So I am going to bring in Misty Moonlight stamp, and I'm going to do Happy Birthday again for this. Where did I put my Misty Moonlight ink? Look at me, I put it away. Go figure. Who knew? Okay, so see if we can get this stamped straight. And I will just stamp it about that far in. There we go. That worked well. So nice when the stamping goes well. Not a lot of stamping on this card, just the sentiment, but it's okay. And then I'm just going to trim this end straight. And then I think this is a little bit big. I'm going to cut a chevron on this thing. So if you're cutting chevrons, you can just cut into the middle, and then you cut over to that center cut. Your piece will just fall right out. And ooh, this doesn't look quite in the middle, is it? Yeah, I guess it is. There we go. Okay, so there we have it. Get some of these bits out of the way here. And what do we think here? I think I'm going to put this on first so I can see where to put my fishies. And I'm going to pop this up with dimensionals. And put it at one edge, and then it will just dangle into the card however far it goes. This one's not, I didn't make it, I guess I could have made it longer. That's okay. We will find a different place to put our gems. Put that near the bottom. Hopefully I've left room for my fishies. Maybe we'll stagger them this time, you think, rather than lining them up. These I did 3 different sizes, smallest to largest, but I was thinking I might put this guy in the middle here. I kind of like that. You can obviously put them wherever you want. I will send you a chunk of, we'll send you, like a strip of this, so you'll get a number of fish to choose from. You do have to do your own fussy cutting. I'm sorry. I love you dearly, but not enough to fussy cut all those fish for you, for each of you, because fussy cutting is not my favorite thing either. But I love how it looks at the end. So that's why we do it, isn't it? Because the end result is wonderful. But anyway, I will send you, a chunk of the designer series paper, and you can choose whichever fish you'd like for your card. See in the middle, he should be fairly centered. the key is. And this guy. I'm just going to flip that over, give it a nice press, and I'm going to use liquid glue on here because this is a gloss. So I want the liquid glue to get into all the nooks and crannies and hold it down. And then it will go on my basic white card base. So when you place your online order, I will send you this kit. As I said, the kit will include all of the pieces to complete the cards, envelopes for the cards, as well as a PDF tutorial. And then you will also have the Facebook recordings that you can go back and watch if you've forgotten exactly how I put it all together. You can go back and have a peek at that. So let's put the lid on the glue bottle so that we don't end up with glue anywhere that we don't want. And let's pull in, what do we have here? We have Misty Moonlight gems. We should use some of those. Okay, and we will just batter them around on here. Oh, they look nice on there. New gems. Love it. This is obviously the first time I've used those. Oh, okay. Highly recommend Tinsel Gems. And I'm sure the 4-pack is just as wonderful as the 3-pack. It's just different colors. So yes, on the recommended list because they are lovely. Look at them. They're fun. Oh, I do like those. I like those a lot. So there we go. There is today's make and take. So if you place that order, here are the 4, these up a little bit so that you can see that these are the four cards that are in the make and take package. Can I get this all in? I'll go up even a little bit higher and do this and this. Ooh, it's getting a little tight. Maybe we'll do it this way. Okay. So there we go. What are we doing here? Let's come back up here and add me in. So there you go. More crafting, more inspiration. I hope you like those cards that I've shared with you today. And I hope you've had a little fun wandering through the catalog with me. Don't forget to answer my questions. 4 questions, 4 prizes. Okay, your favorite. Oh my goodness, day 1. Favorite new color. I know it comes to me. Favorite new color. Favorite designer series paper. Favorite gem ribbon embellishment. And favorite stamp set. So it doesn't have to be one that I've shared. It could just be something else that you've seen in the catalog that has called to you, that's on your wish list, or maybe you've already ordered it. But leave me some comments and let me know the answer to those 4 questions, and then you will be in the draw for each of the prizes. Alrighty, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I have had an awesome time. I hope you have had an awesome time. If you have any questions about anything in the new catalog or any questions about crafting in general, I would love to chat all things crafting with you. So do reach out. I'd love to hear from you. Take care, everyone. Hope to craft with you again really soon. Bye for now.